Tyson Luke Fury is a British professional boxer. He is a two-time world heavyweight champion, having held the WBC title since defeating Deontay Wilder in 2020, and the Ring magazine title from 2020 to August 2022. Previously he held the unified WBA, IBF, WBO, EBO, and the Ring titles after defeating Wladimir Klitschko in 2015. With his defeat of Wilder, Fury became the third heavyweight, after Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali, to hold the Ring magazine title twice, and is widely considered by media outlets to be the lineal heavyweight champion. As of August 2022, Fury is ranked as the world's best active heavyweight by ESPN. He is also ranked as the fourth best active boxer, pound for pound, by ESPN, sixth by the TBRB and seventh by the Boxing Writers Association of America. As an amateur, Fury represented both England and Ireland, as he was born in Manchester to an Irish traveller family. Fury's family lineage comes from Belfast and Galway. His parents emigrated to England at a young age. He won the ABBA Super Heavyweight title in 2008 before turning professional later that year at 20 years of age. After winning the English heavyweight title twice, he became the British and Commonwealth champion in 2011 by defeating the 14-0 Derek Chisora. He then won the Irish and WBO Intercontinental titles, before defeating Chisora again in a 2014 rematch for the European and WBO International Heavyweight titles. This success, along with his 24-0 record, set up a match with the long-reigning world champion Wladimir Klitschko in Germany, which Fury won by unanimous decision. Fury was stripped of his IBF title 10 days after the Klitschko bout as he was unable to grant a fight with the IBF's mandatory challenger, Vyacheslav Glazkov, due to a rematch clause in his contract with Klitschko. The rematch did not materialize as Fury had mental health issues leading to alcoholism, recreational drug use and extreme weight gain. He was also charged with anti-doping violations. In 2016, he vacated the WBA, WBO, and EBO titles. The Ring stripped him of his last remaining title in early 2018. Later that year, after more than 2 years of inactivity, Fury challenged for the WBC heavyweight title against Wilder. The fight was controversially scored as a draw. Fury's strong performance against Wilder earned him Comeback of the Year from the Ring and numerous other awards. In the rematch in February 2020, Fury defeated Wilder by a technical knockout in the 7th round after a dominant performance. He knocked out Wilder again in the trilogy fight in October 2021, this time in the 11th round. Early life. Tyson Luke Fury was born in the Wythenshawe area of Manchester on August 12, 1988, the son of Irish traveller parents Amber and John Fury. He was born 3 months premature and weighed just 1 pound. His father named him after American boxer Mike Tyson, who was the heavyweight world champion at the time, and later explained, "The doctors told me there was not much chance of him living. I had lost 2 daughters in the same way who had been born prematurely." He decided on the name Tyson as Fury was a fighter and survived the premature birth. Fury grew up in Stile, Cheshire, and would later often mention his love for both Stile and his birthplace of Manchester. His paternal grandfather was from Tuam, which is also the birthplace of his father. The Furis are ultimately of Gaelic origin, deriving their present surname from Ofiod Habitra. His maternal grandmother is from County Tipperary and his mother was born in Belfast. Despite strongly identifying with his Irish heritage, Fury has had problems in gaining dual citizenship because his father's birth in County Galway was not recorded civilly in the 1960s, as Irish travellers at the time only recorded births through baptism with the church rather than officially with the state. After dethroning Wladimir Klitschko, Fury would quip that becoming the heavyweight champion of the world is not as hard a fight as proving Irishness. Fury left school when he was 11, and joined his father and 3 brothers Tarmac King Roads. His mother Ember had 14 pregnancies in total, but only 4 of the children survived. A daughter, Ramona, was born in December 1997 but died within days. This experience has stayed with Fury, who was just 9 years old at the time. Fury began boxing at the age of 10. His father trained him until 2011, when John was jailed for gouging out the eye of another traveler due to a long-standing feud. Fury's uncle Hughie Fury trained him until he died in 2014, after which Fury's other uncle Peter Fury trained him in preparation for his fight against Wladimir Klitschko. Peter Fury is also a former boxer, and was previously jailed for 10 years in 1995. He established an amphetamine trafficking network in northwest England, and continued to oversee the criminal enterprise while behind bars. Tyson Fury himself has not had trouble with the law. The Fury family has a long history in boxing. Fury's father competed in the 1980s as Gypsy John Fury, initially as a bare-knuckle and unlicensed boxer, and then as a professional boxer. John had a professional record of 8-4-1, with one of his losses being to future WBO heavyweight world champion Henry Akinwande. Tyson's half-brother Tommy made his professional debut on December 22, 2018 under the tutelage of two-weight world champion Ricky Hatton. Fury is also a cousin of several professional boxers, including heavyweights Hughie Fury and Nathan Gorman, retired WBO middleweight world champion Andy Lee and light heavyweight contender Hosea Burton. Fury's distant relatives include the bare-knuckle boxers Uriah Burton and Bartley Gorman, both considered King of the Gypsies, hence Fury's own nickname of Gypsy King. He has also styled himself as the Furious One and Too Fast Fury. Amateur boxing career. As an amateur, Fury represented both England and Ireland. Fury represented Ireland 3 times at international level. He was based out of the Holy Family Boxing Club in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and later switched to the Smithborough Club in County Monaghan, Ireland. In a double international match against an experienced Polish team in 2007, the Irish team lost 12-6 overall. Fury, however, was victorious in both his fights in Rtyso and Białystok. In another Irish match against the US, Fury won his bout by knockout. He won bronze at the AIBA Youth World Boxing Championships in 2006. In England, while representing Jimmy Egan's Boxing Academy in Wythenshawe, Manchester, he participated in the Senior National Championships in 2006 but was beaten by David Price 22-8. In May 2007, he won the EU Junior Championship, defeating Istvan Bernat in the final. In July 2007 he won silver at the European Junior Championship, losing to Maxim Bobanin in the final. As a junior, Fury was ranked number 3 in the world behind the Russians Maxim Bobanin and Andrei Volkov, but did not get the chance to represent Great Britain at the 2008 Olympics because each country is restricted to 1 boxer per weight division, and David Price was selected. Price came up through the amateur Olympic program. Fury also unsuccessfully tried to qualify for Ireland. Speaking in 2011, Fury said, "I should have gone to the Olympic Games in 2008 and won a gold medal for Ireland, but I was denied the chance to go and do it." He was also forced to withdraw from the Irish National Championships after officials from the Holy Trinity Boxing Club in West Belfast, the club of the then Irish amateur heavyweight champion, submitted a protest regarding his eligibility as he was not born in Ireland. Fury won the ABBA Super Heavyweight title in 2008 by defeating Damien Campbell 19-1. He turned professional later that year. Feeling disillusioned with amateur boxing, he decided not to wait for the 2012 Olympics. He finished with an amateur record of 31-4. Professional boxing career. Early career. Fury made his professional debut at the age of 20 on December 6, 2008 in Nottingham, on the undercard of Carl Froch vs Jean Pascal against Hungarian fighter Belajiang Gyasi, who Fury defeated via TKO in the first round with a combination to head and body. He then had 6 more fights in the space of 7 months, defeating Marcel Zeller, Daniel Pertyatko, Lee Swaby, Matthew Ellis, Scott Belshaw, and Alexander Sealzens all via knockout within 4 rounds. On September 11, 2009, Fury fought John McDermott for the English heavyweight title, and won via a points decision. Fury came in as a 1-6 favorite but produced a poor display, and the 98-92 decision by the referee Terry O'Connor was criticised as a travesty. The decision led the British Boxing Board of Control to mandate 3 judges for all English titles, and the board ordered a rematch. Fury scored 2 more victories against Tomasz Mrazek and Hans-Jurg Blasco before facing McDermott in a rematch on June 25, 2010. Fury settled the controversy of the first fight, as he knocked down McDermott 3 times, first in the 8th round then twice in the 9th round to win by TKO. Fury won the English heavyweight title for a second time in the process. Another 3 wins followed, points decisions over American fighters Rich Power and Zach Page in 2 8-round matches, and a knockout of the Brazilian Marcelo Luiz Nascimento in the 5th round. On July 23, 2011, Fury faced undefeated heavyweight Derek Chisora for the British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles at Wembley Arena in London. Although Chisora was aged 27 and Fury 22 years old, both men went into the fight with a record of 14-0. Despite Fury's superior size and reach, Chisora was the favourite. After 12 hard-fought rounds, Fury won via unanimous decision 117-112, 117-112, and 118-111, with the fight shown live on free-to-air Channel 5. Promoter Mick Hennessy said the fight peaked at around 3 million viewers. On September 17, 2011, Fury fought 32-year-old fringe contender Nikolai Ferdha in a non-title bout at the King's Hall, Belfast. Ferdha took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. The opening 2 rounds were dominated by Fury. In round 3, Ferdha landed a big punch which looked to treble Fury. Fury regained control of the fight by the next round and forced the referee to stop the fight at 2 minutes, 19 seconds on round 5. Fury admitted he got caught flush, "He caught me with a good punch and I had to come back from it." The fight averaged 1.03 million viewers on Channel 5. Fury returned to the ring on November 12 at the Event City in Trafford Park, Manchester to defend his Commonwealth heavyweight title against undefeated Canadian heavyweight champion Nevin Pachkick. Fury had an early scare after being knocked down in round 2 following a big right hand. Although Pachkick hobbled Fury again at the outset of round 3, Fury came back to knock down Pachkick twice during that round. The referee stopped the fight after the last knockdown, causing Pachkick to protest, who declared himself ready to fight on. Many at ringside thought the stoppage premature. The fight averaged 1.72 million viewers on Channel 5. Fury vacated his British and Commonwealth belts in order to pursue a future world title match. He said to the media of his decision to vacate the belts, "I vacated the British and Commonwealth titles, which some people say are more prestigious than the Irish title, but not to me. I vacated those belts for an Irish title shot because it meant more to me. All my people are from Ireland. I was born in Manchester but I am Irish." On April 14, 2012, Fury travelled to Belfast to fight at the Odyssey Arena for the vacant Irish heavyweight title. His opponent was veteran Martin Rogan. Rogan had not fought in 18 months and had not beaten an opponent with a winning record since 2009. At 245 plus 3/4 pounds, Fury was fighting at the lightest weight of his professional career to date. Fury put Rogan on the canvas with a left hook in the 3rd round. Rogan went down again in round 5 from a body shot. Rogan made it to his feet, but the bout was stopped at the request of his corner. The fight averaged 1.33 million viewers on Channel 5. On July 7, Fury fought for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title against American boxer Vinny Maddalone at the Hand Arena in Clevedon, Somerset. Fury weighed 245.5 pounds, marginally lighter than the Rogan fight. Maddalone entered with a record of 4-3 in his previous 7 bouts. Fury improved his record to 19-0 with 14 stoppage wins, with a 5th-round technical knockout over Maddalone. Fury controlled the fight from the onset and stunned Maddalone with a combination in the opening round. Fury continued to land heavy punches and opened a cut under his opponent's left eye in the 4th. In round 5, with Maddalone taking punches, the referee stepped in and called an end to the bout with blood streaming out of the cut under the veteran's left eye. It was the 5th knockout loss of Maddalone's professional career. In the post-fight interviews, Fury said, "I knew it was a matter of time. I actually called the referee over, he was taking some big shots. I'm still undefeated. I would like to say I'm ready for anyone in the world. Klitschko's, bring them on. Americans, bring them on. Bring on Tomasz Adamek. He's too small for me and I see an early win for me." Promoter Mick Hennessy also stated a world title fight was 2 or 3 fights away, targeting Adamek next. The fight averaged 1.05 million viewers on Channel 5. Rise up the ranks. Fury vs. Johnson. Fury vs. Cunningham. Cancelled David Haye fight. Fury vs. Abel. European Heavyweight Champion. Fury vs. Chisora 2. Fury vs. Hammer. Unified Heavyweight World Champion. Fury vs. Klitschko. Relinquishing world titles. Following months of negotiation, the rematch with Klitschko was announced on April 8, 2016, this time with the fight scheduled to take place in Fury's hometown of Manchester at the Manchester Arena on July 9, 2016. Despite agreeing terms for the rematch, Fury said he had no motivation and had gained an extreme amount of weight after the first fight, as he weighed over 330 pounds by April 2016. On June 24, 2016, it was announced that this fight would be postponed to a later date due to Fury sustaining a sprained ankle in training. On the same day, Fury and his cousin, Hughie Fury, were charged by UK anti-doping with presence of a prohibited substance, namely nandrolone, from a sample taken 16 months previously in February 2015. Tyson and Hughie said that they strenuously deny the charge. On September 23, Fury again postponed the fight after being declared medically unfit. ESPN reported that Fury had failed a drug test for cocaine a day before the second postponement. Fury cited problems with depression after the positive test for cocaine. Fury's mental health deteriorated after winning the world titles. On October 4, 2016, in an interview with Rolling Stone, Fury said, "I'm going through a lot of personal demons, trying to shake them off. This has got nothing to do with my fighting. What I'm going through right now is my personal life. I've not been in a gym for months. I've been going through depression. I just don't want to live anymore, if you know what I'm saying. I've had total enough of it. Never mind cocaine. I just didn't care. I don't want to live anymore. So cocaine is a little minor thing compared to not wanting to live anymore. I am seeing help, but they can't do nothing for me. What I've got is incurable. I don't want to live. All the money in the world, fame and glory, means nothing if you're not happy. I'm seeing psychiatrists. They say I've got a version of bipolar. I'm a manic depressive. I don't even want to wake up. I hope I die every day. And that's a bad thing to say when I've got 3 children and a lovely wife, isn't it? But I don't want to live anymore. And if I could take me own life and I wasn't a Christian, I'd take it in a second. I just hope someone kills me before I kill meself. I'll have to spend eternity in hell. I've been out drinking, Monday to Friday to Sunday, and taking cocaine. I can't deal with it, and the only thing that helps me is when I get drunk out of me mind. On October 12, 2016, pending investigation on an anti-doping case about his cocaine use, nandrolone findings, and being deemed medically unfit to fight, Fury decided to vacate the WBA, WBO, EBO heavyweight titles. He said, "I won the titles in the ring and I believe that they should be lost in the ring, but I'm unable to defend at this time, and I have taken the hard and emotional decision to now officially vacate my treasured world titles and wish the next in-line contenders all the very best as I now enter another big challenge in my life which I know, like against Klitschko, I will conquer." Fury's promoter Mick Hennessy added, "Tyson will still be the lineal world heavyweight champion in everyone's eyes. He beat the most dominant champion in the modern era of boxing on an amazing night in Germany to earn that accolade, and that will never change." Whilst it's heartbreaking to see Tyson vacate the world titles that he worked so long and hard for all his life, what's paramount now is that he receives the medical treatment along with the love of his family and friends and the support of the boxing world to make a full recovery. Fury's decision was based on not having to put himself under constant media pressure, allowing him time to recover and receive professional medical help for his mental health problems, and spend time with his family. On October 13, the British Boxing Board of Control decided to suspend Fury's boxing license. On February 1, 2018, Fury was stripped of his last remaining title, the Ring magazine's heavyweight championship. Issues with UKAD and BBOFC. In December 2016, Fury's uncle Peter announced that Fury would be returning around spring in 2017 and would aim for a fight against WBC champion Deontay Wilder. On December 23, Fury tweeted that he was back in training ahead of a ring return around April or May 2017. His tweet read, "I've had a nightmare 2016, done a lot of stuff I'm not proud of, but my promise to you is I'll return in 2017. On March 6, 2017, Fury tweeted that his return fight would take place on May 13, 2017, and he was speaking to promoter Frank Warren about possible opponents. Warren had become Fury's promoter after Fury dropped his longtime promoter Mick Hennessy. The date set for the return would mean Fury would be fighting on the undercard of Josh Warrington defending his WBC International Featherweight title against Kiko Martinez at the First Direct Arena in Leeds. Hours after Fury announced a comeback date, the British Boxing Board of Control publicly announced that Fury was still suspended and would not be fighting in May. This was confirmed by their General Secretary Robert Smith. He also mentioned that there had been no contact from Fury or his representatives since the ban started in October 2016. Warren told Reuters on March 7, "I want to see him back in the ring as soon as possible, but before that happens he's got a couple of issues to sort out." Warren said that along with the dispute with the BBOF there would need to be a court hearing with UK anti-doping. Robert Smith, General Secretary of the BBOF, said in May 2017 that Fury's case was complex and it had been adjourned. In September 2017, Fury challenged UKAD to give him a reply, and either ban him or reinstate his boxing license. He believed he was being treated unfairly as it had taken over a year for them to reply, stating that usually the problem would be dealt with within a matter of months. Fury tweeted, "How long must I be held up and kept out of action? It's been 15 months since I've been under investigation. You're keeping an innocent man from fulfilling his destiny and from providing for his family." UKAD stated there was no particular timescale involved, but denied claims that they were prolonging the hearing. Instead they said they were trying to resolve the matter as soon as possible. On November 8, 2017, BBC Sport reported that a national anti-doping panel hearing was due to take place in December. Due to the legal battle between Fury and UKAD, it was believed that UKAD could potentially become insolvent or would need a government bailout. UKAD reportedly have an annual budget of £8 million, and the fact that Fury had not fought for 2 years would have caused potential loss of earnings, possibly over £10 million. UKAD asked the government if they could underwrite the case. On November 23, according to Robert Smith of the BBOFC, a hearing was set for a date in December 2017. On November 25, 2017, Fury announced his comeback after signing with managerial group MTK Global. A hearing start date of December 11 was set, with the potential outcome being Fury facing a 4-year ban. Fury did not attend the hearing and had reporters waiting outside the location for 6 hours before leaving. Mick Hennessy later stated that Fury was not required at the hearing. On February 7, 2018, UKAD revealed they spent £585,659 on the Fury case. £576,587 was paid to London law firm Bird & Bird, barrister fees came to £1,130 and around £8,000 was paid for laboratory work. UKAD believed they could regain £250,000 through legal insurance. On December 12, UKAD announced they had agreed with the Furis and the BBOC to resolve the charges. Taking into account the delays in results management that meant charges were not brought in respect of the Nandrolone findings until June 2016, and the provisional suspensions that Tyson and Hughie Fury have already effectively served, the 2-year period of ineligibility is backdated to December 13, 2015, and therefore expires at midnight on December 12, 2017. Tyson's February 2015 win over Christian Hammer was disqualified, but his Klitschko triumph was not. Tyson blamed the elevated nandrolone levels on eating uncastrated wild boar and declared his and Hughie's innocence. Hughie and I have maintained our innocence from day one, and we're now happy that it has finally been settled with UKAD and that we can move forward knowing that we'll not be labelled drug cheats. The BBOFC said they would consider the renewal of Fury's boxing license in January 2018. In relation to the news, Fury wrote on Twitter, "Guess who's back? Comeback trail." On January 10, 2018, Fury announced he would be reapplying for his boxing license through the BBOFC. An interview took place between Fury and BBOFC on January 19, where the latter agreed to reinstate Fury as long as he sent them up-to-date medical records after visiting a psychologist. Fury said a motivation on his return was Deontay Wilder. He said, "I couldn't do it." He said definitely not Tyson Fury. He's done. At a press conference in London on April 12, 2018, Fury announced he had signed a multi-fight deal with Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions. He stated that he intended to fight at least 3 times before 2019, starting on June 9 at the Manchester Arena. After weeks of speculation, it was confirmed the fight would be shown exclusively on BT Sport. Fury vs Sefri. Fury vs Pianeta. WBC Heavyweight Title Challenge. Fury vs Wilder. Establishing himself in Las Vegas. Fury vs Swartz. Fury vs Wallen. WBC and I the Ring/I Heavyweight Champion. None. Fury vs Wilder 2. Fury vs Wilder 3. Fury vs White. Fury vs Chisora 3. Professional wrestling career. WWE. Fury made an appearance in an angle on WWE's debut of SmackDown on Fox on October 4, 2019. Appearing as a fan, he stared down Braun Strowman during his match, and Strowman later threw one of his opponents, Dolph Ziggler, at Fury. After the match, Fury jumped the barricade, but was stopped by security. Following this, WWE announced that Fury would be given an open mic for the following episode of Raw. Fury appeared on the October 7 episode of Raw and demanded an apology from Strowman as the two traded insults. They then had a brawl which was separated by some of Strowman's fellow wrestlers. On October 11, it was confirmed that Fury and Strowman would have a match at WWE Crown Jewel, with the contract having been signed on the October 15 episode of Raw. At Crown Jewel on October 31, Fury defeated Strowman via count-out. Fury reportedly earned £11.9 million for his participation. Fury later made an appearance on the November 8 episode of SmackDown at the Manchester Arena, shaking hands with Strowman and suggesting they form a tag team together before both being challenged by the B-Team, who they left laying in the ring. On September 3, 2022, Fury was in the audience of WWE Clash at the Castle. During the main event between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, Fury prevented Austin Theory from interfering by knocking him out. After the match, Fury helped the defeated McIntyre up, then after assuring him that he did well, the two led the crowd into some songs. Other ventures. In September 2019, Penguin Random House imprint Century secured the publishing rights to Fury's autobiography, titled Behind the Mask, My Autobiography. It was released on November 14, 2019 and reached the #1 bestseller position on Amazon with 24 hours of its release. Fury appeared in a 4-part ITV documentary named Meet the Furies, which followed the Fury family while Tyson was preparing to fight in Las Vegas for the first time. ITV later commissioned another documentary about Fury, titled Tyson Fury, The Gypsy King, which showed Fury and his family during the build-up to the Wilder rematch. Known for his habit of impromptu singing, Fury regularly gained media attention for singing songs in the boxing ring after matches and during promotional events. In 2019, Fury appeared as a guest vocalist on British singer-songwriter Robbie Williams' studio album The Christmas Present, for the song Bad Sharon. Fury has expressed an interest in competing in mixed martial arts. In November 2019, he had a training session with Darren Till, who said there is a 70% chance that Fury will compete in MMA. Fury also mentioned that Conor McGregor has offered to train him should he cross over to MMA. In November 2020, Fury's second book entitled The Furious Method was published. A self-help book, it is full of inspirational advice for readers on how we can all improve our physical and mental health. The book was a commercial success, and is a Sunday Times bestseller. In February 2022, Fury launched a new range of energy drinks named Furicity Energy to rival market leaders Red Bull and Monster Energy. In August 2022, Fury and Netflix announced that a new multi-part documentary featuring Fury and his family had begun production with the working title At Home with the Furies. Public image. After Fury became world champion in 2015, the British media began to scrutinize what he had said in the past. He received criticism for having said that he would hang his sister if she was promiscuous, as well as comments made in an interview before the Klitschko fight in which he denounced abortion, pedophilia, and homosexuality, saying that the legalization of these behaviors would bring forth a biblical reckoning. Fury was nominated for the 2015 BBC Sports Personality of the Year award, but around 140,000 people signed a petition claiming that his equation of homosexuality with pedophilia should disqualify him. When asked about the petition by a BBC journalist, Fury quoted religious phrases, including "Believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved," along with John 3:16, "For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, whoever believes in him shall have eternal life and shall not perish." Fury ultimately came forth in the Spotty Award and said at the ceremony, "I've said a lot of stuff in the past and none of it is with intentions to hurt anybody. I apologize to anyone that's been hurt by it. He also was criticized for comments on bestiality, transgender people, and Zionist Jewish people who own all the banks, all the papers, all the TV stations in a May 2016 interview. The interview was later deleted and Fury apologized. "I said some things which may have hurt some people, which as a Christian man is not something I would ever want to do. Though it is not an excuse. Sometimes the heightened media scrutiny has caused me to act out in public and then my words can get taken out of context. I mean no harm or disrespect to anyone and I know more is expected of me as an ambassador of British boxing and I promise in future to hold myself up to the highest possible standard." Fury was formerly known for his attention-grabbing antics, such as arriving at a press conference in a Lamborghini and wearing a Batman costume. After his hiatus, he has said that he does not want to play a character anymore. He stated in November 2017, "I feel I have a story to tell, a massive one. The stuff I've been through, depression, mental health problems. It can help and inspire others. From 18 stone to 27. From a clean living man to drugs and alcohol and back to the heavyweight world champion again. I hope the legacy and story I leave behind will help others in the future of what to do and not to do." Although Fury has vowed to rein in his entertaining behavior, he is still known for his vibrant personality, with promoter Bob Arum stating that he hasn't seen a fighter with that much charisma since Muhammad Ali. Since his return to the ring and his strong performance against Wilder, Fury has been dubbed the People's Champion due to his open and honest discussion about his mental health struggles. He is currently an ambassador for the former British world champion Frank Bruno's mental health charity, the Frank Bruno Foundation. In June 2020, Fury publicly thanked Daniel Kinahan for his role in brokering a potential Tyson Fury vs Anthony Joshua fight. In 2018, an Irish High Court judge stated that Kinahan, who has no previous criminal convictions, is a senior figure in organized crime on a global scale. The Irish government expressed its outrage over the involvement of Kinahan in the brokering of the proposed fight. On June 24, 2020, it was announced that Fury had parted ways with Kinahan as an advisor. However, in June 2022, Fury was refused entry to the United States, apparently a result of his links with Kinahan. Personal life. Fury met his wife Paris when she was 15 and he was 17. They began dating the year after they met, and married in 2008 at St. Peter Indiana Chains Catholic Church in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. The couple have 6 children together, 3 sons and 3 daughters. When Fury was asked why all of his sons had the first name Prince, he said, "I'm a king and they're princes until they earn their rightful name." He named his first son Prince after Prince Nassim, his favorite British fighter. Paris suffered a miscarriage before Fury's cancelled bout with Ustinov in 2014, and lost another child on the day of his comeback fight against Sefri in 2018. Fury's mother was a Protestant and his father is a Catholic. Though neither actively practiced their religions, he was instead introduced to religion by his uncle, a born-again Christian and Pentecostal preacher in the Irish Traveller community. The Guardian described Fury's beliefs as a mixture of traditional Roman Catholic, and a particularly literal interpretation of evangelical Christianity. His wife is a practicing Catholic and was also raised in an Irish Traveller family. Fury and his family reside in Morecambe, Lancashire. He also owns a home in Las Vegas, but decided to let his boxing trainer live there because he is unsure about spending more time in the US. In September 2015, he expressed an interest in running to be an independent MP for Morecambe and Lonsdale, stating that the government was too focused on providing services for immigrants and not enough on homeless people and those with drug and alcohol problems. In April 2016, Fury spoke about the racial abuse he receives as an Irish traveller, stating that no one wants to see a gypsy do well. He stated, "I am a gypsy and that's it. I will always be a gypsy, I'll never change. I will always be fat and white and that's it. I am the champion yet I am thought of as a bum. Since his return from his hiatus, Fury has stated that he still feels bias against his community. Fury is a fan of Manchester United FC and attends football matches at their home ground Old Trafford. He also supports the England national team. Professional boxing record. Television viewership. International. Pay-per-view bouts. United States. United Kingdom.